Metropolitan Police revealed that only 10% understood the new Met for London programme. 10%. And that's after 2 years.
Can I bring in Assembly Member Boff?
This is like déjà vu, isn't it, Mr. Mayor? How effective were your actions in 2022 when we had a similar scandal?
Well, it's worth looking at what's happened since 2020, but also the response now versus 2022. He'll remember back in 2022, when I lost confidence in the Commission, I was criticised by Conservatives for doing so. In fact, the Conservatives summoned myself and Tom Windsor before the Police and Crime Committee on more than one occasion and refused to accept serious problems in the police service. I'm hoping this time there'll be a difference from the Conservatives. Also a big difference from the response of the current Commissioner to the previous Commissioner. And what's happened since 2022, there's at least 10 things I could set out that are different. There are now 200 officers who are employed to proactively uncover and deal with wrongdoing. Since 2022, there have been 1,500 officers who've been exited and staff from the police service. Operations Dragnet, Trawl, Onyx and Assure have led to the departure of hundreds of individuals due to vetting issues. We've also have internal reporting of wrongdoing has trebled since 2022. It's now more difficult to be a police officer. Previously, the vetting led to a 5% rejection of officers who want to be officers. Now it's 11%, a big difference from then. Since then, all 40,000 police officers and staff have received bespoke training on the values expected. We've invested £12 million from City Hall in a leadership academy, incredibly important in terms of supervision of officers. We drafted a private members' bill to address the issue of the need to reform police misconduct and performance framework, and I'm really pleased this government has taken on board the changes we asked for in the Veteran Regulations 2025 and the amendments which are really important. There is now a presumption of dismissal for proven gross misconduct. Serious criminal offences now automatically amount to gross misconduct, a presumption of accelerated hearings for former police officers, and chief constables, because of our lobbying, now have a right of appeal to a police appeals tribunal. And the final point in answer to the really serious question raised by the member is he should compare and contrast the response of this Commissioner once he discovered wrongdoing versus the attitude of the previous Commissioner.
The discussion opens with concerns over the Metropolitan Police's internal culture and its slow pace of reform. A staff survey revealed that only 10% of officers understood the new Met for London programme, even after 2 years. The Assembly member asks the Mayor how effective his actions were during the similar policing scandal in 2022. The Mayor responds by highlighting changes made since then, increased vetting, new misconduct processes, and over 1,500 officers and staff removed from the service due to wrongdoing. He stresses that the current
when we discovered wrongdoing.
So did your actions work?
Well, there are 15,000 officers and staff who have been kicked out of the police service because of our actions. There is now a culture where whistleblowing has more than doubled. You've seen a situation now where, because of our actions, this Commission understands the importance of taking firm action fast. I can't share with the committee yet, with the Assembly yet, some of the changes that he'll see in the next few weeks, but he'll see in the next few weeks examples of the difference we've made in the form of what the IPC will be doing and what happens subsequently.
As a result of, I mean, you used Charing Cross Station as a reason for getting rid of the previous Commissioner. Who should we get rid of now?
There were two big issues that I had in relation to Operation Hotton, and I was criticised by the Conservatives for doing so. One was the response to the serious issues raised by Hotton, by the then Commissioner. The Tories were happy with her response, I wasn't. And secondly, a lack of plan to win back trust and confidence from the former Commissioner. The Tories were happy with her lack of a plan. I wasn't. I lost confidence in the former Commissioner. The Tories were unhappy with that. She decided to resign, and I support that.
You seem to be fighting a party political battle here. This is not...
The Mayor lists several reforms: 200 officers assigned to uncover misconduct, tripled internal reporting, tougher vetting rules, mandatory training for 40,000 officers and staff, and a new £12 million leadership academy. He emphasizes new government-backed regulations, such as automatic gross misconduct charges for serious offenses and faster disciplinary hearings. When asked whether his actions worked, he cites thousands of removals from
About party politics, it's about the protection of Londoners.
It's really important to make this point. Had it been for the Conservatives, the former Commissioner would still be in her job and things would have got worse, not better. It is really important to explain to Londoners the difference that's been made because of leadership from the current Commissioner and his new team and from City Hall. And I want resile from ensuring Londoners get the police service we deserve rather than one that is institutionally racist, sexist and homophobic.
Who knows within the police service that things have changed?
Well, the 1,500 former police officers and staff will be Exhibit A, that things have changed. The 200 additional officers in the Professional Standards Directorate are Exhibit B, that things have changed. The speeding up of disciplinary hearings is Exhibit C. The fact that we now have officers trained in leadership and supervision is Exhibit E. The fact that you've got a situation now where every police officer and staff knows what is expected of them as Met Police officers is different to what it was before. The fact that we have a situation where officers are coming forward reporting other officers is also incredibly important. It's now more difficult to join the police service than it was before. It's far too easy to be a police officer in the past and far too difficult to get rid of a police officer in the past.
Well,
that's changed.
You say that, Mr Mayor, and you only had to view the Panorama programme to realise that many of those officers didn't know that the Met had changed.
The Assembly member challenges the Mayor, asking who should be removed now, given he removed the previous Commissioner over Charing Cross misconduct issues. The Mayor says the previous Commissioner failed to act on serious concerns and lacked a plan to rebuild trust. He accuses Conservatives of opposing his decision at the time. He argues that, had they been in charge, the former Commissioner would still be in office and reform would have stalled. The member pushes back.
I did not know the Met had changed. And actually, you go on about internal reporting, and it took somebody from another police force to report the appalling behaviour of somebody at Charing Cross. So, are you sure police officers know that the Met has changed? Because those police officers didn't.
Well, I think what the BBC programme exposed, and I commend the work of the investigative journalist, is because of the cultural issues that Gareth Roberts and I just discussed, officers are now doing things away from when they know they'll be seen. He will have also seen those officers who are unwilling to condone or take part in the behaviour that is unacceptable. One of my concerns is why whistleblowers didn't come forward in Charing Cross Police Station in the most recent example, why those officers didn't have the confidence to do so. And that's some of the issues that the Commission will be looking into.
Mr Mayor, these are very weak excuses. The last staff survey of the Metropolitan Police revealed that only 10% understood the new Met for London programme. 10%. And that's after 2 years of 2 years later from the previous Charing Cross crisis. And only 13% have confidence in the Met leadership. I would suggest to you that the changes you put into place last time just haven't worked, and
the Mayor insists that clear signs of change exist: thousands removed for misconduct, strengthened vetting standards, expanded professional standards teams, faster hearings, and improved training. He says more officers now report colleagues who behave improperly, and it is harder to join the Met than before. The Assembly member challenges this, referencing a BBC Panorama investigation showing officers who did not know the Met had changed. She highlights that it took someone from another police force to expose wrongdoing.
Londoners are going to suffer. And finally, before I go, because I'm up against time, are you convinced that women will be believed when coming forward with accusations of violence and rape?
Well, the members referred to a police-fed survey. I mean, I'll give them examples of some of the changes taking place, because it's a serious issue, and I'm sure it'll give me time, because it's an important issue, to explain some of the changes taking place. An inspector was dismissed in January 25 for what's been a member of a discriminatory WhatsApp group. a detective inspector was dismissed in May 25 for misuse of the police service system. A PC was found guilty of misconduct and given a final written warning in January 25 for use of an offensive term. Another PC was convicted of common assault following his arrest of a black woman. A sergeant was investigated in relation to his use of force. A staff member was forced to resign because of the way they dealt with a 999 call handler. There is a range of cases where the police have taken action against individuals, and there's been a cultural change as well. The time it takes for somebody against whom an allegation is made before it reaches a hearing has been accelerated. But more importantly, officers now know they can report misconduct and won't have the issues there were previously. And that's what's led to 1,500 police officers and staff being kicked out of the police service. Neither the Commissioner or myself accepts the current position, but there would have been status quo and no change at all if there had been the Conservatives in charge of police in London in 2020-2022.
The Assembly member delivers a final warning. Only 10% of staff understand the new Met program, and only 13% trust Met leadership. She suggests that reforms have failed and Londoners will suffer. She asks whether the Mayor is confident women will be believed when reporting violence or rape. The Mayor responds by listing recent disciplinary cases, officers dismissed, warned, or convicted of misconduct, and says processes have accelerated. He insists the culture is changing and that neither he nor the Commissioner accepts the current situation. But he argues that without the actions taken since 2022, there would have been no progress at all.